All right, guys, we're back with Doc
And the
Boxer episode 56, and we're gonna talk about the big fight that happened on the weekend that just passed, and that was Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua. Well, we always hear Doc's opinion first on the fight. Let me just do the breakdown of it. Just the introductions of it. So Oleksandr Usyk from the Ukraine now is 19-0 with 13 KOs and collects the WBO, WBA titles from Anthony Joshua, who now falls to 24-2 with 22 KOs, with a 117, 112, 116, 112, and 115, 113 scores. And he beats Joshua, and I would call it almost a major upset, because we didn't think that Usyk, and not many people, a lot of people wrote him off in this fight.
Yeah, well, we kind of judged it by his previous fight with Chisora.
That's what I remember. Usyk, and I said that Usyk said, people don't judge me on don't forget the word he used, but he's like, don't think about that fight. It's different. People think that it just because of this, but boxing's different. When you're in the ring, things are different than what you expect and stuff, right?
True.
Basically, I think the event was. Did you get to see it, Doc?
Yeah.
Like the event itself was an amazing event. Like it was 68,000 people. At the Tottenham Hotspur Arena in the UK in England. And what an event it was. Hey?
Yeah, that was amazing. Seeing the crowd there like that.
And his entrance and all that. And it was good to see once again that we're seeing big crowds again in fights.
Well, he's the money maker. He's the A side, Joshua, in England.
And I think he and that's a big exclamation mark was. We'll talk about what our thoughts are about him moving on now and stuff. But first of all, let's talk about the fight itself. And what was your opinion, Doc? How did you feel about it?
Yeah, so I did not, on purpose, I did not watch any of the lead up training videos or the countdown to this or whatever they call it. I didn't watch any of that.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to see on fight night, without any prejudgment or predetermination of watching them train and getting ideas because of the way that what we see with their training. So first thing I noticed, Usyk put on weight compared to the Chisora fight. He put on weight. He was 220 pounds, and you could see it, and not flabby or anything. It was just right. So when I saw that, I thought that's the first thing I noticed in the fight was his increased muscle mass and his increased mass in general. And I thought, oh, this could be a little more interesting than I thought.
And then with that on top of that, you got Joshua that was down in weight. He lost weight for this fight to be able to work more with a smaller, quicker.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. The second thing, okay, getting right into the fight itself. I felt that Anthony Joshua, what was his game plan? What was his game plan to deal with this kind of fighter? Because I'm still clueless about it. I don't know.
You're right, Doc. A very good point that you brought up, because that that is the consensus going around. Like Robert McCracken, who's the trainer of Anthony Joshua, is getting a lot of heat for this. And they're talking about him, a resignation from him, and him being what was the game plan? I mean, the first, 5 rounds, he wasn't doing much. Like, it was just that jab, the occasional right hand, but it wasn't much.
No, I didn't understand, and I think he had a good round 5 and a good round 6. Joshua, that's where he came forward behind his jab.
He was mounting a slight comeback.
Yes. But Usyk, the way Usyk moves, that was sick.
Oh, a bigger version of Vasily Lomachenko, not the whole movement like Lomachenko, but the movements similar to, for sure, like that what Lomachenko does. But one thing you're saying, Doc, is like, what did Joshua do? What did he do? Well, we have to give all the credit to Usyk, because it's because of him that Joshua, that's what he was fighting. The way he was fighting was because of Usyk. And talk about Usyk before this fight with this fight with Joshua is with Dillian White and Tony Bellew. They both fought Usyk, and they've been in the ring. Not Dillian White, but Bellew has, and he was talking about it. He's like, it's so mentally exhausting fighting a guy like him. You have to be on the cue all the time. You're thinking, this guy is so smart. He collects the data, like Vasily Lomachenko said, and then he executes. Like, and to me, it was a brilliant, masterful display of boxing at a heavyweight level.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, apparently he threw the most feints that any heavyweight boxer has thrown in history. I read one stat about that.
Yeah.
And I noticed he did throw a lot of feints, especially with that lead jab, right? Mm-hmm. And Joshua was reacting to those feints. So he was getting a lot of information. And remember, already in the first round, he was able to throw a quick, hard left hand, lead left, Usyk. Yeah. That landed beautifully.
Yeah. Boom, right down his pipe.
Yeah. And the thing I think that would be frustrating, because I wanted to see a close fight, obviously. It was a great fight, entertaining. But I did know, like, as far as power goes, Anthony Joshua, definitely, when he would hit him, there was a little bit of damage done. I mean, Usyk's face was a little bit busted up after the fight, right?
Well, definitely, it was all marked up. It looked like an atlas, a map.
Yeah, he did. And and the fact that AJ's corner and him and the team couldn't utilize that to turn the fight around, because those were more damaging, his odd power punch to Usyk than Usyk's accumulation of punches to AJ. So it's a shame he couldn't get more power shots off, because that was impacting Usyk when, on the few occasions he got caught.
Yeah, and like I said too, it was because of the style of Usyk that he was not be able to get those shots off, and he was tentative. He had the gun in the holster most of the time. He barely pulled it out of the holster, right? And that's credit to Usyk.
Absolutely, you're right.
Yeah.
He was not willing to take a chance and get countered, and I don't know. He wasn't taking risks at all in the fight. AJ, he looked so tentative.
He wasn't taking risks. Like we would hope he would have, and things like that. I mean, let's go to the next part of this, like, because everyone wants to know what's going to happen next. Like, the first thing is, like, obviously Joshua's going to have a rematch clause in the contract, and he exercised that ASAP. So they will be fighting again in February or March next year.
Yeah.
But
so we can't make, I don't think we can make a determination on what happens to Joshua really until we see the results of this rematch.
well, I mean, there has to be some talk about already about him. Like, he he showed the fighter, like, that killer instinct against Klitschko, getting dropped and then coming back, and the way he did that, but he just got dropped. He didn't get he in the Ruiz fight, he got knocked out and then came back, won, but in a very gun shy, lackadaisical. I mean, sorry, not lackadaisical. I won't use that word. Tentative of a rematch, because he didn't do much at all. So is he afraid? Is he gun shy? Is that what the case is?
Man, it's such a good question. I mean, on the one hand, no, because Usyk just made it tough for him to throw his right hand because of his movement. On the other hand, maybe yes, because he was getting counter punchered. He's with a good counter puncher in there. So he didn't want to commit. So it's hard to say. I think we got to see what happens in a rematch. I do think he has a suspect chin, though.
Oh, very much so. I feel, usually, like, big, strong guys like that, their chins are they never hold up. There's some chink in the armor. There's got to be a chink in the armor. Everyone has a chink in the armor. Otherwise, Pernell Whitaker would have been the best fighter ever if he punched hard. He didn't have that. Floyd he never had the offense, or he had great offense for sure, but he was a defensive master. He would have taken over the sport, knocked guys out, and this and that. There's always some chink.
Yeah.
I feel, but I feel with Joshua, like, I almost feel like a lot of British fans do, like let down. And no disrespect to Joshua at all, because whatever, even if this is it, I won't say this is it, because he's looking for that rematch. But if he never does becomes what he could have, or will just stay the same, he's had a great career. He's had, world champion, Olympic gold medal, and things like that. Then allow him to, but he claims, and he put, like, I'm the best. But he really isn't. Like, if you look at, what if he fought Wilder? What if he fought Fury? Like, what would happen there? Demolition?
Well, we've seen how he has trouble with a fighter that moves well. Fury not only moves well, has great reach, great timing. He's a sniper with his punches.
Yeah.
His movement is off the charts. I mean, I don't know why he's not mentioned in pound for pound discussion, because he really is a special fighter.
He is. And I think that, like, just in 2 weeks, we're going to see Wilder and Fury do it again for the third time. And if what I expect is Fury to do almost the same what he did before.
I think so too. He doesn't have to change his game plan much.
Yeah.
And if Wilder does try to box more than set up his power punch, he's not going to have a chance. You can't outbox this guy, Fury. He is the best heavyweight on the planet, I think.
Yeah.
I really believe that. I went back and I watched just some highlight film of all his fights.
Yeah.
Fury. I have such an appreciation for his skill.
Yeah.
He's truly amazing.
Totally, right?
Yeah.
He definitely is. Like he's a big man that's 6'9", whatever, 8, that can move the way he moves is very, very. We haven't seen that, a big guy
No.
like that.
We haven't seen a heavyweight move like that since Ali.
And he brings that attention to the sport, like the way he talks, his singing and all the things that he does. He's bringing boxing, the heavyweight division, back in the spotlight.
Absolutely. I think he's and I think he's a very intelligent man.
Yeah.
Human being. I think he's highly intelligent. And that comes through in the ring, in his ring IQ, and the way he places his punch. And he's one of those guys that's a master. He sees things coming at him. Got so much respect for his skill.
Yeah, me too.
So I think that would not be I think Joshua would be an easier fight. No disrespect to Joshua, but
right.
I think that would be an easier fight than Fury.
Yeah. And that's what Bob Arum's saying. Bob Arum is saying, like, don't let that fight happen. Don't let a Joshua and Fury fight happen, because it's not what you're gonna want to see.
It's not. It's going to be an embarrassing loss for Joshua. Yeah. I mean, we saw how he had trouble handling a smaller man with movement. How's he going to handle a bigger man that moves even better, probably, than Usyk?
Well, I mean, like, we can't say better, because the thing is, yeah, you can't.
I just said it. Oh shit! The cops are coming. No.
Okay, but
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I mean, the funny thing is that I talked about this earlier in the week, that, like, okay, if you look at the amateur pedigree of Usyk, and those guys coming from those countries, they have exponential experience in the amateur. And look what he did. Like, he won Olympic gold. Anthony Joshua and him both won golds in the same Olympics, 2012 London. But I was talking about it, I'm like, those, when the Olympics happen, and those countries that host the Olympics, they win gold medals like they never won before. It's like, and now I talked about that, and then the other day, there's a huge investigation going on with IABA, the governing body of amateur boxing, and stuff about the Olympics, and how there's been a lot of corruption in the Rio, since the Rio Olympics, the Rio, and then it was Tokyo, or it was Rio then Tokyo, the last two Olympics. And I think that's what it was. 2012, 2016, and then
you can go back as far as the Seoul Olympics,
you can.
Korea Olympics.
Yeah,
see what happened.
But this is like, you definitely can, but they're saying that there has been corruption, and we're just gonna find out how it happened, like how these guys won gold medals. I talked about it, said, Anthony Joshua won a gold medal, but really, he didn't really win a gold medal. If you look at his fights, like, he had some really, like, very highly questionable fights, and it happens in the Olympics so often.
Yes.
But you got Usyk, that he won a clear gold medal in that Olympics, right?
Yeah, he dominated.
And I think the amateur pedigree it brings a lot to the table, a great foundation for these guys that can convey that into the professional ranks. Just quickly, like, about the Joshua fight, and why didn't he, like, with Usyk's style, Usyk's like moving southpaw style, and Joshua talked about that too. I would have, what do you say, is like, I would have, if he was the right hander, I would have knocked him out in 9 rounds, like that. You're saying like that. But dude, he's not a right hander. Why did you guys take this fight? Why did Eddie Hearn make a fight like this with a guy that you're already saying that he's a southpaw, and he won all the belts at cruiserweight, unified champion cruiserweight. He's very good. Why did you have to fight him?
Yeah, it was a high risk fight.
Very high risk.
But you're making a great point. If you're going to complain, say something like that about, if he'd been a right-hander at orthodox, I would have knocked him out. Well, then you're admitting that you're shitty against a lefty, and you're not good enough to even handle a lefty.
Yeah.
What other heavyweight would ever say that?
Yeah. No,
that's ridiculous.
Exactly. And he
got thoroughly out.
He got in his face, like he was. What do you say? He couldn't see after the 9th round or something with his eye or something like that.
One of his eyes was a little more closed, but I've seen worse eyes, and the guys keep going.
Yeah, I know. I think he was like, vision was messed up or something was. I don't know.
If they were messed up, it's because he got clipped with a bunch of punches.
Yeah. Now, definitely, like, because, the big fight would have been, you can't, Fury's got a big fight coming up. It's really big. He has to take it. Yeah. But it would have been an all England massive battle. And, at this particular time, that fight is off the table. And, does Joshua get relegated to, like, he was a good fighter, but he wasn't like this, but he was a good fighter. And honestly, in my opinion, I like, he's good. He's a good fighter, but he ain't like the other guys. That's two losses where he got beat. And especially this one, he got beat pretty bad, and he's talking about he wanting an immediate rematch because he's like, I learned so much in this fight, and then the next fight will be different, and like this is the way he's talking. Like, give it a rest, man.
It's not like he's gonna go and fight in a rematch against another out of shape, very little training Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yes, he fought well in the rematch, and he obviously learned a lot. Fair enough, AJ.
Yeah.
But he also fought a guy that was way too heavy, didn't admittedly hardly trained, and wasn't well prepared. Usyk is not going to be like that in a rematch. Usyk will be even more prepared.
Ruiz ate himself out of a chance to rematch at all. He ate himself out of it when he stepped on the scale.
You're right. Good.
Definitely won't happen with Usyk. So Usyk, in regards to the unification, like being the unified champion at heavy, because he did it at cruiserweight, and he could potentially do it at heavyweight. He's like, we can talk about unification, and I really like him. He's very personable, funny, even though it's the English, he don't speak the best English, but he tries, and he's very good for the sport.
Yeah, he's great.
We talk about sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we talk about the unification of all the belts only after Fury will have his boxing match with Wilder, and they determine the champion. And after the rematch with Anthony, then he's always very humble, And he's just like, of course, I would like very much to have this unification?
So I could see, you know, if he wins the unification, if he wins the rematch, Usyk, let's just hypothesize.
Yeah.
He wins the rematch. Fury wins this third fight with Wilder. So then we get a Fury Usyk potential.
Yeah.
And as far as AJ goes, I mean, that would really affect his momentum. But same with Fury too. I wouldn't mind seeing a Joshua Fury,
Still
Wilder fight.
Oh, Joshua Wilder. Oh,
Yeah.
You're putting this, you're sacrificing the lamb there. He's gonna get tore. He's gonna get hurt, and he wouldn't even want that fight because we can already make an assumption that
Yeah.
he is gun shy.
Yeah. Yeah. And he would be against a tough, hard hitter like Wilder.
The hardest one of them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bronze bomber.
Man, it really changes the landscape. I just didn't expect. I thought he was going to be just too small, Usyk, and he blew me away.
That's exactly how I felt he was going to win, rather close to a victory after having hard beginning and then close to victory because of the size and whatever. But was I ever wrong?
But we did the same thing that people did. We did the same thing now in this era of boxing that people did in the Holyfield era when he was a cruiserweight and then he came up to heavyweight. Everybody said he was going to be too small, and he just fought amazing as a heavyweight. He's one of the all-time greatest.
There's three guys that went up from cruiserweight to heavyweight and one unified. Who were they?
So
sorry. They were unified at cruiserweight, and then they won the heavyweight championship.
So there was Holyfield, Usyk now, and then there was also, David Haye.
Yeah, David Haye.
Right?
Yeah.
But did he win a heavyweight belt?
He won a heavyweight belt.
He did.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he did.
See, I know my shit.
Well, see, you were like, you weren't sure. You were on shaky legs. Like you just got hit in the chin.
That's because I got to get to training again.
Make those legs strong. So, and just about Robert McCracken, just I told you he worked my corner my first fight in the UK. Robert McCracken, yeah. Anyways, so I didn't hear in between the rounds because I couldn't hear probably. Did you hear anything, Doc, about any advice and stuff he was given in the?
I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear also.
Yeah, I was very interested to hear because whatever he was, either he didn't listen or I want to know what McCracken said. Like, come on, mate, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go.
That would be interesting actually to hear that, but
yeah, because if he didn't listen, that's one thing. But if he, if he didn't listen, that's one thing. But if he heard and didn't do it, then the guy is. Oh, sorry. If he, then it means like mentally, Joshua is unstable there. Like Lennox Lewis and Joshua, they've been going at it with each other. And sometimes you get the old heads, like they're always like, we're better than the new guys or whatever. But in this case, you got Lennox, like, and we're making the comparison because it's England to British fighters. That Lennox avenged his losses, and Lennox showed that, that grit. Like Joshua don't show much grit. Like I don't see like him going biting down, throwing bombs or something like he needs to. I've never seen that at all. Maybe with Klitschko, but aside from that, I don't see much.
No, and I think even Mike Tyson after the fight, he sent out a tweet basically saying, you know, these two guys, and great respect to them, but they could not beat me in my prime if they fought that way.
Yeah.
And I believe that.
Oh, I totally believe it 100%. I don't think many could.
There was an aggression. There's an aggression that's lacking in AJ.
That's it. He's too nice.
Yeah.
He's too much of a gentleman. A proper Brit is to have a spot of tea and, you know, all right, man.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got to get dirty. He's got to get in the phone the phone booth. But I don't know. Have you ever? How good is he on inside fighting?
I can't recall like him fighting on the inside, standing there. You know, it's not really. Fury always says is like he's a bodybuilder, the bodybuilder. He's like a physique is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But that don't win you fights.
Right. So it'll be very interesting to see if they have a better game plan, a set game plan against Usyk for the next fight.
Yeah.
I was going to say my gut tells me that he would not win a rematch.
Yeah, mine too. I think okay, so what is that? What, 3 wins in the last 5 fights or something like that?
Oh okay, yes, it would be something like
so
that.
It's not that great at all. I think like he's, you know, I don't want to say, but he is like, I think he's near the end of it. That's it. Prince Nassim Hamid, he said something like, he's, I hate to say this, is what it says. I hate to say this, but he's at the end.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Why does he feel this guy's not really going to progress much more or learn more?
I don't think so. I think he's done what his capabilities allowed him to. He's done that much that it won't go past this. But then I can be wrong because we both agreed that he was gonna win this fight with Usyk, and Usyk won. Could be wrong, but let's just see when they have their rematch. Let's see also too if he makes like a coaching change. Like, is McCracken getting a lot of heat? Is he gonna bring in someone else? Kind of like a la Lennox Lewis when Lennox got knocked out by Oliver McCall, and in Oliver McCall's corner was Emmanuel Stewart. Not literally, but Lennox tippy over there in the corner and talked to Manuel, you want to come train me? And
yeah.
Became Lennox's trainer, and Lennox dominated.
Yeah. True.
And please, no disrespect to Robert McCracken. I think he's brilliant. He brought Paul Froch up to like one of the greatest middleweight fighters. Sorry, super middleweight fighters.
That's true. It's not necessarily the trainer. Sometimes it's the chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah.
And the skills of the boxer as well, and whether there truly is potential. I mean, you always saw that with Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
Even when he lost, the first thing that came to my head was that to McCall was that he's having a bad night. He just had a bad night. Like with Lennox Lewis, you always felt, okay, if there's a rematch, he's going to do it. He's going to come back. With AJ, man, I don't know.
You don't know. That's the thing, right?
He's got to prove it.
Lennox showed it when he beat McCall. Then he did it with Rockman, and he knocked out Rockman. He went for that kill.
Yeah.
The guy that put him to sleep.
Yeah. And he dominated that fight even up until he knocked him out.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. And if he changes coach, okay, maybe that will help. But I don't know, man, we got to see the fight. And then what happens? What if he loses the rematch? Okay, which is very on the table.
Likely, right?
What happens to his career?
Yeah, because right now he's teetering on the brink. Like is he gonna go there, or is he gonna go? Is he gonna resurrect his career, or is he gonna keep going down?
Yeah,
would put him in that situation again. Right now, he's got a lot of doubters against him right now, and let's see what if he can bounce back from that, and if he can beat the guy that beat him in front of his home crowd, his home country.
Oh man,
68,000 people. What a way to go out.
that's rough. That's rough. And then let's say he loses the rematch, then does he become like one of the top sort of gatekeepers of that division?
If he wants to stick around, like he's already made loads of money.
Yeah,
he will be well off, and
absolutely,
and everything. He's makes a lot of money. That's it. Then another loss will mean that's it. You're not no more relevant in boxing right now. He's teetering on relevancy in boxing right now. A lot of people are not really favoring him to come back, and so let's just see. This is what he says, Doc. He's like, Joshua, I don't like it at all, kind of like the underdog when whatnot. If you know me, I'm not fussed about it. I always say that belts don't represent me. I represent myself. So underdog was champion. It is what it is. But I'm looking to go in there and prove stronger, smarter, and yet I believe I'll get a good win in the next fight because of what I learned in this fight. I'm a quick learner, and I'll bounce back. Him and Eddie Hearn both been harping on that, like about he's gonna bounce back and just
Well, they got it. They have to. If there's a rematch and they want to make pay-per-view buys, they got to start saying things right from the get-go. That's gonna get people going. Okay, maybe. Well, let's see if he does.
Yeah.
And saying that he's going to bounce back and he learned and all that, that makes me go, okay, well, let's see. I don't think so, but I'm still curious enough to watch the fight or pay for the fight.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we spent some time on this fight.
Yeah.
So let's go over to the other news that took place this week too, and that's Manny Pacquiao officially retiring.
Yes, big news.
After his at 42 years old, 26-year career, 26 years
for boxing. That's a long boxing. That's a long time.
62-8, 2 draws, 39 KOs. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Amazing career. So he's basically he made the announcement he's gonna retire. 8 division champion. Something that I can't see being done again. And this is what he says, Doc. He goes, this is his message that he sent out. To the greatest fans and the greatest sport in the world. Should I do it in my accent?
Yes, of course.
To the greatest fans and the greatest sport in the world, thank you. Thank you for all the wonderful memories. This is the hardest decision I've ever made, but I'm at peace with it. Chase your dreams, work hard, and watch what happens. Goodbye, boxing.
Wow, man. That's the retirement of a legend.
A legend, right?
Yeah.
Definite legend, definite first time Hall of Fame ballot. He's in. He's.
You know what else is great about him is you can't compare him to any other boxer, like his style. there's nobody that fought the way or punched the way he did. Like, he was very unique as a fighter.
He was that footwork, and I just saw like I guess his son is pretty good now. He's getting better. His son, I think he's but some other Filipino fighters. One guy shot, I forget the guy's name, shadow boxing, looked like Pacquiao. The way they're emulating Pacquiao. Like, look what Pacquiao's done for that country in terms of the sport of boxing, and not just on the whole country. The sport of boxing, he's improved it vastly. Put all the eyes on the Philippines, on that island. Now the Philippines, that fighters are getting brought over here. There's promoters going over there. There's matchmaking, whatever. They're going over there and they're getting Filipino fighters. All because of Pacquiao.
Yeah, they're scouting them.
They're scouting them. That's the word I was trying to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for Pacquiao. There's been talk. I was reading some comments. Do you think this we'll never see him again? Or do you think he may? I heard that him and Floyd Mayweather are gonna come out for the second fight. Would you care to watch that?
Out of curiosity, yes, but that's the only reason. Not because I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
No, it's purely out of curiosity.
Yeah, and that's a curiosity is what's going to translate into the money if it does happen.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
But I'd still watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
Who knows? He's running for president of the Philippines, right?
Yeah, that's a full-time job, I hear.
Who's gonna play him in a movie? They should make a movie of this guy.
I agree.
A Hollywood movie.
Maybe Bobby Lee. You know the comedian? Oh, he's a comedian.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He used to be on Mad TV.
Oh, Bobby. Really?
He's just short, funny, Korean comedian.
Yeah.
American.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know who would play him. That's a good question.
But it would be quite the story, though, Doc? From what he came from.
What an amazing story! Yeah, that's like Cinderella Man story.
Yeah, I like that. That was a good movie. James J. Braddock.
Yep. And Troy Ross was in that movie. Eh?
Yeah, Mark Simmons, Troy Ross.
Yep.
Wayne Gordon. This coach.
Filmed in Toronto.
Some of it was, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Some of it, yeah.
All right. Well, goodbye, Pacquiao. Thank you.
Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pacquiao. Amazing career and a great guy. Like, the guy is a great guy. Like, everyone that they talked about it, like, you know how there's a lot of celebrities out there that are gonna, brush you off, but he always makes time for the fans. He always greets them. He'll never just walk by and, that won't happen with them. He's a people person. I mean, ultimately, people are the reason why you're there, that you made that kind of money and you became this kind of celebrity.
Exactly.
It's because of them.
Yeah, you can never forget that.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has. He seems like a real gentleman.
Yeah. And he's a good fighter. He's
an okay fighter, yeah.
Then also, Doc, just announced now, and like a couple of days ago, or earlier in the week. And reason why I'm talking about it is just because it's pretty interesting, and because we always talked about Jaime Munguia, and Munguia has never really had a very credible full. And I think this time, even though Gabe Rosado has a record that's not great, like 26-13 in one draw, but he's still gonna give Munguia a test. So that's why I mentioned it, and that we're talking about November 13th at the Honda Center in Anaheim. And if you remember, the reason why they're both on the card together, and the reason why why Rosado got this fight is because of that big upset that he had against, at that point, previously undefeated 7-0 Bakhtar Bekbuli Mazlakov. So because of that fight that he knocked him out, it was a big upset. That's why he gets his fight on the same network. They fought on DAZN. Gets a shot with Munguia, and let's. I think I don't even know. This is a good 50-50 fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think Munguia still has the advantage just because of his power, but he doesn't have great defense, Munguia, and Rosado's a tricky guy. He knows how to set traps, just like he did with that Russia. Was he from Russia or?
He's from Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan. I mean, he got caught in a trap and he paid the price.
Yeah.
And Rosado could do that to Munguia too. So I'm looking forward to that fight. I want to watch that fight.
Yeah.
Rosado's great, and look at Rosado's resume. Even though he's lost, look who he's fought. Everybody. He's fought Golovkin.
Yeah.
All the tough guys.
Yeah. Jacobs. Yeah. Everyone. He did against Jacobs.
He did. He did.
He did really good. Like a lot of people said, he won that fight. He should have won that fight.
Yeah, that dude's got a lot of experience, so you can never count him out. Yeah. And he's tough as nails, man. He'll take 10 punches to throw one.
Yeah. Those guys are dangerous.
Yeah.
Then, Doc, it's made official now. So we have Terrence Bud Crawford. Yeah. He's 37-0, 28 KOs, putting his WBO welterweight title on the line on November 20th on Showtime. No, sorry, November 20th. Oh, yeah, no. Against Showtime Sean Porter, who's 31-3-1, 17 KOs at the Michelob Ultra Center Arena in Las Vegas. That's going to be a really good fight.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Finally, we get to see him back in the ring after Cal Brook like a year ago.
Yeah, I think that's a really going to be an interesting matchup. You know, Porter has his own boxing podcast, eh?
I know.
And I've watched a few episodes. It's fun. I like watching it. The guys are all knowledgeable.
Yeah, the guy, and he's a BBC broadcaster, dude.
Yeah,
he's very good.
Yeah, he's excellent. So I'm looking forward to that fight. We got a lot of fights coming up. You got on Monday, October 4th, is the Teofimo Lopez Cambosa fight.
It's off again.
What?
Yeah, it's
when
off.
Was that?
There's something with, I guess Cambosos didn't agree to it or something. I forget what it is, but it was. I think that's what it was. It was like Cambosos didn't agree to the fight being pushed to the Barclays Center or to that date or whatever, and they want Triller out or something. I don't know. This fight has been a long time in the making.
So it's kiboshed.
Yeah, until they figure all this out. I don't think it's happening right now.
It's holding up that whole division a little bit.
I mean, some, but those guys ain't fighting. But Javante is making an announcement about who he's gonna fight.
He's going up to 140, is it?
Pardon?
Is he going up to 140?
I don't know. I heard he's going back down to 35.
35, yeah.
But then there's another fight that's almost ready. I think they already set a date and everything. Jojo Diaz and Devin Haney. Sorry, not Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that matchup. Ooh, That's a great step up for Garcia. That will reveal a lot about him.
Yeah, it will, because Jojo is a very, very good fighter.
He is, and he's a gritty fighter too. I would like to, there's also, let's not forget, there's the Canelo fight coming up November 6th.
That's November. I remember last time we did our podcast, and I just talked about it briefly because I just saw that they just had the press conference in LA, and they had that where they hit each other, or Canelo hit him and gave him that. But I didn't realize he gave him a cut under his eye from his glasses, slapped and bang his glasses.
But did you notice how Canelo had taken off his glasses?
Smart, eh?
Because he's been there before. He's seen all of this before.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he got a little bit of an advantage from that press conference mentally.
I think so.
I don't know why what's his name was being such a dick.
Yeah,
he was being a dick,
swearing and stuff, like, suck my, this and that, like, and he called
mother effer.
Motherfucker. Did you call me motherfucker? Canelo got mad, remember? And then that's how it all started. But Canelo, that whole "you call me motherfucker" thing, whatever, it was just more of a thing because Canelo, remember when Boo Andretti came into his press conference? It's like, Canelo, when we gonna get it on? Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. You motherfucker, like saying shit like that.
Yeah. That was just, he needed something to say, something to react to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's great for, I'm sure their promoters, they love that.
For sure. Maybe, who knows, maybe the numbers were a little bit lower than they anticipated. The prospect number.
It's probably scripted, that was. Yeah,
but that came out, like, I'm sure a lot of people got excited after seeing that altercation. So
it did, because it was on ESPN. I watched it on there on the Sports Center and stuff. They showed it on the ticker and stuff, so it made the news that was supposed to make.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight too.
Yeah, me too. And that one is what? It's November? No.
November 6th.
November 6th, yeah.
Yeah.
November 6th. Why is that? Oh, yeah. November 6th in Las Vegas.
Should be a pretty big fight.
Other fights, Doc, that we have. This weekend, we got Chris Eubank Jr. is fighting.
Yep, I saw that.
A replacement fighter, Seven Albert, never heard of him. October 9th, we got the big Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, the third fight, and Efe Jogba versus Frank Sanchez, Robert Helenius, and Adam Kanawaki, the second fight rematch, and Jared Anderson and Vladimir Tershkin heavyweight fight too. So that's a really good, interesting card. That's from top to bottom.
Yeah, that's really good. I like Ojagba too. I want to see him fight again.
Yeah, I love Ojagba and Frank Sanchez, Cuban.
Yeah.
Training with Eddie Reynoso and over there.
That's a good card. That's a good fight card.
Just froze. Okay. And then we have October 23rd at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta. We have Jamal Herring and Shakur Stevenson, WBO super featherweight title. October 23rd. What a fight. I mean,
great.
We're going to see, and mark my words, the brilliance of Shakur Stevenson in this fight. This will put an exclamation mark around the guy, because this is a very formidable opponent, Herring, for sure.
The world champion, yeah. I think that's a really good matchup. Also, they're going to have to reschedule at some point hopefully sooner than later, the Fulton Figueroa fight.
That is. It's and that's gonna be in, oh geez, sorry. That's, oh no, you're right. It hasn't been set yet.
I don't think it has, but
Postponed.
that's
Yeah.
another fight to look forward to once they make a date.
Yeah, and the same thing with the Tifimo, that's postponed right now. The other fights we had that Canal fight, and we got David Benavidez.
Oh,
fighting
yeah.
in Arizona, and on PBC, the date is not confirmed yet because there was COVID. He got COVID, and then the fight was originally postponed. Now it's gonna be set again. But then we got December 18th at the Hydro Arena in Glasgow, Scotland. Who's that? In Scotland.
September 18th.
In Scotland. Who's a Scottish fighter out there with all the belts at welterweight? Super lightweight.
Edwards?
Josh Taylor.
Josh. Oh shit,
Yeah.
I forgot him. That's right.
Josh Taylor, WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO.
Oh yes. He's in the mix too.
Fighting Jack Cottrell.
Don't know.
I think he's American.
Okay.
So
Wow, man, we're chock full.
yeah. But once I think once the Canelo fight or the Benavidez fight, then I think it's fight after fight every week for 8 weeks.
Amazing.
Yeah,
It's
good
amazing.
fights, big fights.
Yes.
Every
Yes.
week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every week.
This is a good time going into the fall now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool, man.
Hey, Doc.
Good fight.
Yeah, all right. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, Doc and the Boxer. Send us an email at docandtheboxer@gmail.com. All right, guys, and we'll see you guys for episode 57. All right, Doc.
All right, brother. Good job.